Okay.
Devan Sarnai, good day to all of you. The topic that was chosen is the difference between me and my world and universal world. The universal world is named as Lokottara, or in Latin, me and my world is named as mundane, and universal world is named as supra-mundane. Now, the me and my world is not a special thing because you and me, we all know me and my world. To start with, everything that comes out of our memory is going through our eye, nose, ear, tongue, skin, and gets, it's not memorized, but it just goes into memory. Some people have a super memory, others have a less memory. Nevertheless, what has been experienced by our ear, nose, skin, eye, mouth, they're all stored, and we have, willingly or unwillingly, they come to our daily life in our decisions making. So when I say to you, me and my world is known to all of us, it is really true. In other words, we also say conceptual world. Concept. You have an idea of things seen here, and you hear and smell. You generate an idea, and then we are we cannot see things as they are. So nothing wrong in seeing things they are. So there's nothing wrong. We feel that we see things as they are. For instance, we see the blue sky, but there's no blue in the sky. Then you go there, but when you open your eyes and look at the sky, the sky is blue or gray. The gray sky and the blue sky, we see them as reality. But in a blue sky, if you keep on going, there's no blue color. So a gray sky, when you see, we see, it's going to go rain, or it's blue and white, blue clouds, and it's white clouds and blue sky. So we see the difference between blue and white. They are also, we say, oh, it's nice. When it's gray clouds and gray or gray and white, we feel that it's going to rain. So the question that might arise, is it going to rain now? So we better go home. We go quickly into the car to stop raining. So now you see the difference there is a concept that is memorized in the mind says, quickly get into the car, quickly get into the house to stop the rain coming. Now, there's a common question called dukkha. This question, dukkha, is known to us as suffering. And this reflects to birth, decay, old age, getting old, getting ill, and dying. These four stages are difficult to carry mentally and physically. Now you get me? So, so we experience this from birth to death. But you can also meet a Buddhist monk or get association with Buddha Dhamma, and then ask yourself, what is he saying? He's saying of two things, mundane and supramundane. Laukika, lokotara. In other words, a person who is used to live in this world does not have the penetrative ability to reality. Now, see, look at the sky. If you have a cup of tea, having water, the blue color of the sky is going to reflect onto the cup of tea. So you can argue out, there, the blue is there, but this blue is not real. But still you see it. So this is called, in modern days, visual reality. You see, visually only its reality. So the Gautama Buddha wants us to see reality. In this form of his reality, there are three things that he's pinpointing at us. The pinpointing reality is that everything that the five senses see is subject to change. But this is not difficult for anybody to understand. Everything the eye sees, you see your mother young, and you see your mother old, and you see your mother also dead. Your grandmother young, getting old, and you see death. So we see it and say, that's the world it is. And then we cry. We become sad. Sometimes we call them, oh, we are suffering. One way the grandmother passed away, one way your mother passed away, one way your children can pass away, your wife can pass away, you yourself can pass away. Not only the pass away, you cannot pass away if you are not living. You cannot die if you are not living. You can't be living if you are not birth. So birth, decay, old age, and death. This is called dukkha, difficult to carry. Should you stick on to the word Dhamma as suffering, it might be a mistake. But about 80 to 90% of the people say it's suffering. If it is suffering, then the Buddha is also suffering. Buddha became awakened at the age of 36. And he mentioned a word called Nirvana, where all suffering as well as difficult to carry comes to a standstill. He named this asankata, not conditioned. He was 36 years old, but he became 80 years. So did he escape suffering? We have to ask that question. Did Buddha ever try to escape suffering? Now, after becoming awakened, Hangbut told Ananda, oh, my shoulders are paining, Ananda. Oh, shoulders are paining? Well, that is difficult to carry as well as suffering. But the mind was not shaken. Why was Buddha's mind was not shaken? We have to ask that question. He is a person who claims to have realized Nirvana or Vimukti or unconditional element. then what is the saying to Ananda or other monks? My my body has pain. Now, most of the time we go to temples, we see monks, we talk to monks, we read books, and there's an enormous amount of wisdom that is delivered from the Dhamma. In this delivery of the Dhamma, we have a visualization of where I want to go. I want to go to heaven. I want to be a happy man. With that word happiness, we are thinking of our families, we are thinking of our cars, houses, how nice I look like, how much of illness is there or not there. This is what we think of. Now, when we talk about this person, Siddhartha Gautama, which was Buddha's earlier name, he was born a prince. So he had lots of comforts, dancing, women, whatever he wanted, father supplied it. But coming to see an old man, ill man, dead man, and a hermit, he came to think otherwise. Now we also see things like this, but we don't start thinking otherwise. We just push that scene away from our mind and we want to be happy. So we did not go deep enough to know what is happiness. Now, sense pleasures are what we are hunting for. When dukkha or unsatisfactory nature of life is in existence to all living beings, why do we ignore it? We just ignore it. Just by ignoring it doesn't mean dukkha is removed. Dukkha is a fact. Even the Buddha took this anicca, dukkha, anatma, everything is subject to change, everything is unsatisfactory, then everything is not me. Now, this is the difficult thing. You can't have nirvana representing me and my world. So, me and my world, the memory is involved. Now, memory is put together, collected together. The I associates with the I object, and I consciousness takes place. Now, in this I consciousness, you start naming the I consciousness nice, good, very good. Oh, I don't want to see that picture again. I hear something. Oh, terrible voice, terrible noise. Or nice voice, nice, you see, terrible. So we keep, this is what our behavior is. We are all the time saying good, bad, nice. Oh, I hate it. We have to get out of this world that I just spoke about. How do we get out when it is reality? You see this as a reality. Yes, it is partial reality, not the ultimate reality. Ultimate reality is this is changing. To know that it is bad, first you had a good place. And if you ask me, Tissa, do you suffer? I say, no, not all the time. Then, do you enjoy life? Yes, I do enjoy life. Then what are you talking about? I'm now trying to tell this to you. What am I talking about? Now, for my luck, which I say luck, it's not the real. The word is ping. You have to take the word as ping. Ping means in merit. merit. If I say merit, merit is uh, is cultivated through practice, knowing body and mind. So anybody who wants to go to the moon, you have to go use of a space shuttle and a rocket. Now, if you want to be free of thinking, you have to go through body and mind awareness. Nama Rupa. You have to mention Pali words because sometimes the English language does not have the real meaning it wants to represent. So go into Lokottara. Now, me and my world and supreme mundane world. So you take the first step as the body. The body is made out of small pieces. If I try to tell you in Pali, you say Kesa, Loma, Naka, Danta, Tato. This is Kes means the hair. Look, hair in the body. This is different to this. Kesa, Loma, Naka, nails, teeth. This is broken into four pieces. The four are Apo, Tejo, Vayo, Patavi. Heat element, earth element, water element, air element. Now, in the body, Kaya, Kaya Nupahasati Viharati. Body living in the body, it's already universal. You must ask, come on, this is already universe? Yes. Very simple. Looking at Mars, looking at the sun, looking at Venus and all the galaxies, it is universal. Will this ever help for us to be liberated? Yes, that is how you begin. Liberation begins when you see things and hear things and smell things. If you get into the custom of asking, what is the cause for this? Anything that happens, please do ask, what is the cause for this? And if you keep on analyzing what is the cause, you will see a chain of causes. Not one cause, one effect, but it's a chain of cause and effect, cause and effect, cause and effect, cause and effect. And after 2-3 months, 4-5 months, you might get tired. So much of knowledge is there. So that Panya Vimukti, you're also getting rid of knowledge, knowing all knowledges have this common factor, cause and effect, as well as change. In fact, cause and effect is change. Once you get tired of finding out, your mind might be, it must not be, it might be. If you have enough ping or merits, you will say, why do you want to do all these things? Was born, got old, got ill, and died. We are born, get ill, get old, and die. So what is the difference? So this is where the difference takes place. The difference is the mental maturity takes place and say, look for a place where you don't have to start thinking and hunting. This is how it happens. There's one word called yoniso manasikara. The other word is called yatha bhuta jnana dassana. The other word is called sankara upekkaya jnana. Now, these are three important places where we have to experience through meditation. After we have cultivated a concentrated mind by practice, then we cultivate neva sanya na sanya, neither perception or perception. And then we have to go into Samadhi and Vipassana. Now, the Samadhi and Vipassana is achieved through Anapanasati, and then Vipassana is achieved also through Anapanasati. One is cultivating, is getting and reducing the thought frequency of your mind. Thoughts are kept away, so you get a concentrated mind. Because of a concentrated mind, you are going to experience perception or no perception. Now, the Gautama Buddha experienced this within the first 1 or 2 years. But he did not see Nirvana or realize Nirvana there. Then he started to torture his body, thinking that the mind will get liberated when you torture the body. That was a wrong concept. So one day, after the Duskara of 5 years, as the books say, he realized that this torturing the body won't bring you to Nirvana. He said what brought him to Nirvana is the golden middle way, Madhyama Pratipadava. Now, the golden middle way is one-pointedness, where you're getting out of duality, and then you experience nothingness because you have a consciousness. You experience a lot of thoughts coming because you have a consciousness, and you experience something that is very unique, that your consciousness is not there. This is given by Buddha in different ways. It's given by different ways, means once the Buddha was meditating, a monk came and asked, people came and asked, there was a woman who died because of lightning. So they were asked the Buddha, who was meditating few meters away, did you hear the lightning? He said, no. The next question was, were you alive? No. Were you dead? No. Now you see, then the Buddha also said, in this Nirvana, even this precious Dhamma is non-existent. So, once a person has realized Nirvana, Mahamoggalana was hit, but the mind doesn't associate neither the body nor the mind. Why not? Because you have realized these are made out of parts, like a car beam parts. When you take all this out, there's nothing. If you keep on cutting a mango, there's nothing. But without, in that nothingness, things come out. So the fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh dimensions that the modern world is finding out, we respect these discoverers and say, oh, what a nice thing they have, quantum theory, this theory, that, but they don't all liberate you from suffering. This liberating from suffering is not the right word, but liberating from hunting knowledge. This is our problem. We are reading Dhamma books again and again. I don't read any. I discuss with monks, I discuss with other people, So in that discussion, there's enough Dhamma awareness given. Dhamma awareness is suchness as it is, without a concept. Means everything you see, hear, smell is changing. So you can't associate as mine. I am changing. You can't say that because me also put into pieces. So, Lokottara, don't you ever be surprised and have no imagination of Nibbana. You have to realize Nibbana. And it is difficult to realize Nibbana because of two factors. We have a calculated way of looking at it, which is called the logical knowledge. Then we have another knowledge called feeling world. Now, the feeling world and the is necessary to be aware how it comes to birth, but you have to go beyond. The word is called beyond. So I'm not going to talk because it's a long thing to say. Before you get to Sankara Upekka Jnana, balanced way of seeing, equanimity is the mind does not want to know because it has seen enough that everything is subject to change. So you don't hunt, you stop hunting for knowledge. There's a great day. But in order to do that, you can read a couple of books, meditate for 1 month or even 10 years. You have to go through Yatha Bhuta Jnana Dassana and Yoniso Manasikara. Yoniso Manasikara, I will tell you everything that is the eye, ear, nose, to see them as a baby. Just see, some signal came, something happened to my mind. Some signal came to the ear, I started reacting. Some signal came to my nose, I started reacting. Then you go to Yatha Bhuta Jnana. The Bhuta means the four elements. These four elements made this. Then because of this knowledge, you get pushed into equanimity. Tiredness. When Buddha was asked, do you know everything? The Buddha said no. But he said another thing. If I want to know, I can know. I don't know everything. When somebody came, a minister came and said, if we have a war, will we win? Then he asked Ananda, is the king looking after the people? Is the people looking after the king? Yes, sir, that is true. Then you can't win the war. So this is a person who said ahimsa, not to get involved, but he used the wisdom here to give a message to the rest of the people. It is the importance of friendliness towards all living beings. There we have gone wrong in Buddhism. We have to use Dhamma, which is non-cultural and non-religious. But the purpose of Dhamma is to cultivate friendship. So let's see, friendship. First, friendship is never to do harm to any person. Do good things, old people, friendliness. Get your mind regulated. So any person I want to extremely say, the Nirvana is here and now. So don't look after death just because there are things saying there's a contradiction. If anicca dukkha anatman, if there's no atma, then how can rebirth takes place? Right? This is the conflict that we have. There's a continuity, but it's not the same. Yeah, like domino stones, one or like a film. You look at a 35mm film. Each picture is different, are standing on its own. So when it runs, we see a continuity. So that is what is here read. There is a continuity, but there's no I. It is my life, because every moment is not mine. It's conditions. So Lokottara, which is called supramundane or universal, you have to associate these things in temples. I talk a lot when people come. Again and again and again and again. Same thing, same record. Because people see, meditation has to be taken like sharpening a knife. Knife is there to cut, but you sharpen the knife. So meditation is sharpening your one pointedness. In that one pointedness, only you can kick your thoughts away. So once the thoughts are kicked, you penetrate automatically to the depth of what you see. Then the reality comes out. The reality is change. So try to get into this reality of change, which you and me, we both see every time changing. But mind has not enough merit or ping to see the change. What does this change do to us? It produces dukkha, difficult to carry life. Knowing it is difficult to carry, we earn more and more money, we earn more and more duties. Oh, I had to look after, in my case, I had to look after the temple, where's the donations coming, how to pay the bill. So if I take it as unsatisfactory, which is true, I might suffer. But if I take it, well, that's life. That's the way you are born already. You can't stop old age. You can't stop getting ill. So you accept it. Aniccan, Dukkhang, Anatmang is accepting the reality, which is not able to be calculated. Though we cannot calculate it, we are in it. So liberating from this is what is called Nirvana. That means even the thinking of the Dhamma is taken away because you have accepted it. So 7-year-old boy was Sopaka. Sopaka Nedam Hamru Nama. Sopaka. Sopaka was liberated. Nirvana. Ananda, who knew everything that the Buddha said, was not liberated. So it is not the knowledge that is going to liberate us. In the meditation, you can experience it. But so many people meditate some 10 years in Mitrikala Forest Hermitage with my uncle built Tissa Weerarathna. I was there. All in studying situations, one day after another. Then the Abhidhamma comes and screw up your mind and so on. Much easier, much easier. You have, if you want liberation, you have to get out of culture and religion. If you are, whoever the monks, whoever person who's hanging on to culture and religion, will not be able to liberate yourself. Not possible. Because the 4 things that the body is made is all universal. So anybody in Japan, anybody in Germany, anybody in Sri Lanka, anybody in America, we all have the same building material. Water element, heat element, earth element, which is tangible, and the air element. From that way, you go to come to know your body and satipatthana. Avijja pacca, sankara pacca, vinyana pacca, nama rupa pacca, salayatana. All these things has to be seen, felt. We study logically, cannot help. It's the logics that goes against and start in duality in the mind. You have to anukampang upadaya, dana sila bhavana, then pansil, the 5 precepts, 8 precepts, these are all to get and push away our habits. That is what is called ping. Ping means to get out of habits and penetrate deep into insight meditation. Samatha and then vipassana. Samatha and then vipassana. Once you get vipassana, you realize yourself that this is everything that I see here and all is changing. Once you realize, you can't hold on to something that is changing. So the Lokottara is possible here and now. You have to get hold of the proper monks. Don't look at the monks' knowledge itself. Look at the behavior pattern. That is very important. Person who has seen or realized is will not talk too much of Buddhism, because that is a hindrance. So getting into pratyakdana, common man, people like you and me who are, you have to, my whole idea is, if I can push somebody into Sohan, that's enough for me, because the rest automatically comes. Sohan is using the fruit ruler which we call cause and conditioning. Everything has a cause, everything has a condition. Go after this not as a process of learning, experiencing cause and effect in everything that we see, hear, smell. Keep on doing that, and then you cannot stop going to the next step. You have to be, the 5 precepts has to be safeguarded like a treasure. Then you have to get out of rules and regulations. Don't be a slave to rules and regulations. Then you have to have cause and effect taking place. All you have to realize, see that every time you see it. Not just because the monk is telling or the Buddha is telling. You yourself, pachattavetapu, through yourself, means body and mind. You have to see the cause and you cannot stop Nirvana. It's impossible. Thank you very much. Sadhu. Hari ini ke Baranham